Hey there. So picture this. You're playing hide and seek, but instead of hiding behind the couch, you're hiding a mountain of gold bars, and instead of your little sister looking for you, it's the tax man with a calculator and a very serious expression. Welcome to the Billionaire's favorite game. Now, before you start thinking billionaires are all sitting in underground lairs, counting stacks of cash like cartoon villains, let me introduce you to my friend Alice. Alice just became a billionaire. Congrats, Alice. But here's the weird thing. Alice's bank account shows she only has about $50,000. Wait, what? Where did all her billions go? Did she lose them in her couch cushions? Nope. Alice is just playing the world's most expensive game of financial hide-and-seek. And the first rule of this game, never actually own anything directly. Think of it like this. Imagine you have a really expensive painting that you don't want your parents to know about because they might ask you to sell it to pay for college. So instead of keeping it in your room, you give it to your cousin Bob to hold. On paper, Bob owns the painting, but you and Bob have a little agreement that you still get to enjoy it whenever you want. That's basically what Alice does, but instead of one cousin Bob, she has an entire family reunion of corporate cousins scattered around the world. Alice creates something called a shell company. Let's call it Definitely Not Alice's Money LLC. This company exists purely on paper, kind of like her invisible backpack that can hold all her valuable stuff. Alice then transfers her billions worth of stocks, real estate, and other assets into this invisible backpack. Now when someone asks Alice how much money she has, she can honestly say, well, I personally only have $50,000. Everything else? Oh, that belongs to Definitely Not Alice's Money LLC. I have no idea who runs that company. Wink, wink. But wait, it gets even more creative. Alice doesn't just use one invisible backpack. She creates a whole chain of them. Like those Russian nesting dolls, except each doll is registered in a different country with really relaxed privacy laws. So Alice's money goes from her personal account to a company in Canada, which owns a company in Ireland, which owns a company in the Cayman Islands. It's like a financial game of telephone, except instead of the message getting garbled, the money just becomes completely invisible to anyone trying to trace it back to Alice. Each country in this chain has different rules about what information they'll share with other governments. It's like Alice is playing hide and seek in a house where each room has different lighting, and by the time you get to the last room, you can barely see anything at all. But here's where it gets really clever. Alice doesn't just hide her money, she makes it work for her while it's hiding. Those shell companies, they're buying real estate, investing in stocks, starting new businesses. Alice's wealth is growing while playing peekaboo with the tax authorities. And the beautiful part for Alice is that she can still access all of this money whenever she wants. Need to buy a yacht? No problem. The Swiss company loans money to Alice personally. On paper, Alice doesn't own a yacht. She just has a really generous loan from some mysterious foreign entity that definitely isn't herself. Now you might be wondering, isn't this illegal? Well, here's the plot twist. Most of it isn't. Alice isn't breaking laws, she's just playing by a completely different set of rules that most of us don't even know exist. Think of it like this. Imagine there's a video game where regular players have to follow the tutorial, but VIP players get access to secret cheat codes. Alice didn't hack the system, she just bought the premium expansion pack that comes with invisible mode. But Alice's hiding tricks don't stop there. She's also mastered the art of charitable giving with a twist. Alice creates her own charitable foundation. Let's call it the Alice Totally Cares About Puppies Foundation. She donates millions to this foundation, gets a massive tax deduction, and then guess who sits on the board controlling where that money goes? Alice's family and friends. So Alice gets to look super generous, pays way less in taxes, and still basically controls her money. It's like donating your Halloween candy to yourself and then getting congratulated for being so selfless. Alice also loves something called borrowing against assets. Instead of selling her stocks and paying capital gains taxes, Alice uses her stocks as collateral to borrow money at super low interest rates. Banks are happy to lend to billionaires because, well, they're billionaires. Alice gets cash to spend without technically earning income, which means no income tax. It's like having a magical piggy bank where you can take money out whenever you want, but the government can never see inside to count what's actually there. The craziest part? Alice probably has an entire team of accountants and lawyers whose full-time job is just playing this financial hide-and-seek game. While you and I do our taxes on TurboTax in our pajamas, Alice has a whole army of financial ninjas making her money disappear and reappear like magic tricks. So in conclusion, billionaires don't hide their wealth because they're evil masterminds, plotting world domination from secret volcano lairs. They hide it because the system basically gives them a playbook on how to do it legally. While regular folks pay taxes on every dollar they earn, billionaires have found ways to own everything without technically owning anything, spend money without earning income, and give generously to themselves. It's not magic, it's just really, really good accounting. If you want me to make other videos explaining these topics, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.